Hello, everyone. Welcome to Scottsdale Neighborhood College. Thanks for being here today. My name is Ross. Before we get started with today's class, I'm just going to go over a few things. So for today's topics, we'll be talking about human services, the McDowell Sonoran Preserve, the Scottsdale Public Libraries, and Parks and Recreation. Now, before our first speaker comes on, I wanted to share a few things that locals may know, but people new to Scottsdale and or tourists may not know about. Our non-emergency via 911. If people out in the community see something suspicious or have questions for the Scottsdale Police Department and they don't want to bother the officers, you don't and shouldn't call 911 for questions or non-emergency matters. You can call the non-emergency number at 480-312-5000. It's answered by the same people, but you are essentially telling them it's not an emergency, so it may take a moment for them to answer the phone. Now, one quick thing, if you do call the police non-emergency number and you want to talk to someone immediately or a live agent, dial 6 and it will take you to a live agent immediately. Now, you're probably thinking, I wish you could give me an example so I could understand it. Of course. Now, imagine you're at home, you look out the window, you see a person walking down the street near where the cars are parked. The person is trying the car doors to see if anyone has left their car open. Now, is that a crime? No. If they enter the car, then that is a crime. Call the non-emergency phone number and report it. And if they do enter the vehicle, call 911 and report a crime in progress. Next up is our Scottsdale traffic management system. Now imagine you are stuck in rush hour traffic trying to make a left turn at an intersection. There are so many cars in front of you that it's likely to take 3 to 4 cycles before you're able to make your turn. Did you know you can call the Traffic Management Center at 480-312-777 and ask them to extend the lights? They will review the intersection on the cameras and extend the left turn signal so that more cars can get through. Try doing that in Phoenix. Now, there are a couple quick caveats. You do have to be in Scottsdale when you call them. You can't be in Tempe, Mesa, Phoenix. They don't run the traffic signals for other cities. Also, if you call the TMC, you need to make sure it is when they're open. If you call on the weekends or late at night, they will not answer. And during that time, the traffic signals are pre-programmed. Go ahead and put this number in your phone so you'll have it when you need it. And I promise once you use it once, you will definitely be hooked. Next up, we have our Scottsdale Easy citywide work order system. You can request new and replacement trash cans, report a street light out, or ask any other general questions for the city. Simply go to Google, type in Scottsdale EZ, and it will take you to the page where you can fill out a work order. Lastly, we have our Cab Connections program. This is a taxi voucher subsidy program and is available to City of Scottsdale residents who are disabled or senior citizens over the age of 65. The program serves full city limits and vouchers pay 80% of the fare up to $10. Participants may request up to 21 one-way vouchers per month. So please call the Cab Connections office for any additional information. And without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce our first speaker for today. From Human Services, we have Rebecca Kurth. Rebecca Kurth is currently the operations supervisor at the Via Linda Senior Center and has worked there in a variety of roles during her 7 years there. Please welcome Rebecca Kurth.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rebecca from the City of Scottsdale's Human Services Department. I currently work at the Via Linda Senior Center as the operations supervisor. But I'm going to give you a quick overview of our entire Human Services Department. We have about 8 centers in Human Services, and we provide a variety of resources to the City of Scottsdale that many people don't know about. And these services are often underutilized. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the Granite Reef and Via Linda Senior Centers. At the Senior Centers, we offer a holistic approach, providing both recreation as well as social services. Our buildings hold a number of leisure education classes, as well as in-house programming such as discussion groups and arts and crafts projects. Our arts and crafts projects range and are typically seasonal. From August through May, we try to have one every other month, if not every month. So be sure to check in with whichever center is closest to you if that's something that interests you. We also have discussion groups that have a variety of topics, and some meet weekly and some monthly. So no matter how busy your schedule is, we have things that will fit into it. We are also known for our special events. We have spring barbecue is our next one, and it is an outdoor event. We'll be having food, entertainment, and games. Our special events are available to Scottsdale residents for $7 and $11 if you're a non-resident. Via Linda's is going to be on Tuesday, March 1st, and Granite Reefs will be on Friday, March 4th. So if you have any interest in those or would like additional information, just go ahead and call the center's front desks and we can provide that for you. We also have on-site caseworkers who are able to assist with a variety of issues and provide resources for a number of issues our seniors face. They can help provide resources for housing, SNAP benefits, and a whole host of other issues and items as well. They are also able to refer people to counseling services, grief support, or any other issues or hardships our seniors may be facing. Next up is the Vista del Camino Center. This is Scottsdale's Community Action Program, our CAP office, which provides vital services to low-income residents, including food, emergency rent, and utility assistance, as well as training and resources for job seekers. That brings me to our next point of Vista's Career Center, which offers free services for job seekers of all ages, professions, and skill levels, including self-service workspace, so access to computers, printers, scanning, anything you might need if you're getting together a resume or applying for a job, as well as skilled career coaches, which can help you with all of those things, such as applications, resumes, interview prep, and on an individualized basis. This is available for people of all ages, anyone seeking a job. We also have a career closet, which is stocked with gently used professional clothing if you are in need of something to wear if you do get an interview and you're working with the Career Center. The last main thing that Vista offers is the food bank. And Vista's food bank offers monthly food boxes. You do have to make an appointment with a caseworker to be able to get a food box, but there is also free bread and pastries available in the lobby daily, thanks to our grocery rescue program. So anything that would have been thrown away from the grocery stores is available in the Vista lobby, and there is no income requirement for that. You do just have to prove that you are a Scottsdale resident, which you can do with a utility bill. And then one thing that's not on the slide is Vista also has caseworkers, which are able to help. They mostly do applications for rent and utility assistance, but they can help with other items as well. Next up is our Paiute Neighborhood Center. This center hosts a variety of different nonprofits and organizations on its campus, but it is also home to our Family Resource Center and Community Assistance Office. Our Family Resource Center provides a variety of services that are free of charge to support families, parents, caregivers, and expectant parents and their young children, that's birth through age 5, and not yet in kindergarten. So anyone who's not made it to kindergarten age yet is eligible for these services. And these services are provided by First Things First, which partners with families and communities to give all Arizona children the opportunity to arrive at kindergarten healthy and ready to succeed. Also on the Paiute Neighborhood campus is the Community Assistance Office, which manages a variety of federal and local funds. This is the office that handles all of our affordable housing programs, as well as funding nonprofit agencies, the Federal House Choice Voucher Program, and a variety of other federally funded programs with housing and rehabilitation, roof repair, all of those sorts of things. That's another thing that Scottsdale offers that not a lot of cities do. We do have a roof repair and replacement program and an emergency repair program. So if you are a Scottsdale resident and you meet the income guidelines, you could potentially be able to get your roof repaired or replaced. Or if you have a major appliance break, such as an air conditioner or refrigerator, anything that is vital to life, you may qualify to get that replaced as well through the city and through these grants. Our next center is the Youth and Family Service Center. This is kind of the hub of human services. It's where our director is and a lot of our admin offices. But they also have licensed therapists. This is a fairly new program, and they provide counseling services for referrals from the community and from city staff when people are in need of counseling. There are some qualifications, so you would need to contact Youth and Family Services to get the broad list of those. But the program is set up for clients who have no insurance and kind of fall through the cracks. So the fees are relatively low for counseling services. They start at $40 to $60 a session. However, there is a sliding fee scale for those who cannot afford that but need those services. The Youth and Family Service Center is also home to the Mayor's Youth Council, which is a great opportunity for Scottsdale's high school youth to learn about how local government works and how services are provided. We also take that opportunity to gather youth input and how the city is shared or run, and that is shared with city staff and elected officials. So it's a great opportunity if you have any high school students or know of any in your neighborhood. The Scottsdale Mayor's Youth Council is run through the Youth and Family Services Office. That kind of wraps up our centers. And next I will be sharing a little bit about the Human Services Special Programs. These programs are just another great thing that kind of sets Scottsdale apart from our other surrounding cities. The first program I'm going to talk about is Back to School. This past year, 374 families were helped, which equaled 811 students. Each student received a backpack, school supplies, so folders, pencils, markers, crayons, anything that you would typically get on a back to school list, as well as a voucher for a free pair of shoes and a $25 gift card for clothing. Typically in the past, we have had clothing at the drive that students can pick out, but with COVID this year and the year before, we were not able to do on-site events. So everything kind of shifted to a drive-through mode. So that's how we have continued to offer this service. In order to qualify for these programs, you do have to be a Scottsdale resident and enrolled in a Scottsdale Unified School District school and meet the financial qualifications. This program is mostly run May through July, with the passing out of items in July for all of the students, so everyone can go back to school feeling well prepared and ready to tackle the year. The next program I will talk about is the Beat the Heat program. This is a program that is run out of our senior centers, and it is for homebound seniors. We get referrals from our caseworkers as well as outside agencies for anyone that might be homebound or isolated. In the summer heat, we like to go and check on people. So we do a home visit to make sure that their air conditioner is working, that they have water, that they have anything that they might need to make it through the summer months here in Scottsdale. So you can see some of the pictures are with some of our seniors. These pictures were all taken prior to COVID, just wanted to mention that. But we go out, we take a gift bag full of water, snacks, and a $35 grocery gift card, as well as do that home assessment, just to make sure everyone's doing okay. And it also helps our caseworkers assess the growing needs of Scottsdale's older residents. The next couple programs I'm going to talk about are held at both the Vista El Camino and the senior centers, and they are November through December. The first being Adopt a Family, families with minor children and that meet the financial qualifications are eligible for this program, as well as being a Scottsdale resident. This past year, we were able to help approximately 230 families with 672 children. These programs are all run with the help of donors, either financial or through items, people adopting families, buying things off their wish lists. And so this year we were able to give out a total value of gifts of $161,419, which is a huge, huge impact on our community and just helping kids feel special and like they are valued and important as well. Our last special program is the Adopt a Senior program, which is very similar to the Adopt a Family program. However, it is just for seniors and disabled adults. There is also a financial qualification, and it is run solely by donors as well. This year, we were able to adopt 336 seniors who all received holiday gifts as well as a grocery gift card. And that's one thing I forgot about Adopt a Family. They have a Thanksgiving program as well. So they receive a food box and a turkey, and the seniors do as well for Thanksgiving so that everyone can have a holiday meal and enjoy that with their family. And then for the seniors, they get a smaller meal and a $35 gift card so that they're able to buy whatever protein they would like. So those are kind of our special programs. They're kind of the highlight of human services and what we all love to do. So there's a few ways you can get involved in the Human Services Department. We offer a variety of volunteer opportunities. These are kind of on the back burner right now due to COVID, but hopefully in the next couple months, we will be able to bring back our volunteers and kind of get everyone going. You can also make monetary donations. Most of these go through Scottsdale Community Partners, which is our nonprofit that helps us run the Adopt a Family, Adopt a Senior, Back to School, and Beat the Heat programs. So they support those programs. So the majority of our financial donations do go through them. And then it is tax deductible as well. There's also in-kind donations. You can donate to the food bank. You can adopt a senior, you can adopt a family. And then for Back to School and Beat the Heat, all the centers will have lists of needed items for those programs as well. And then the last way to get involved is through the Scottsdale Cares program. This is a optional checkbox on your water bill. You've probably seen it before, but didn't know what it was. And it is a $1, or you can choose the amount donation that just gets added to your water bill, and it goes to fund Scottsdale nonprofits as well as all of our Scottsdale grant-based programs as well. That's all I'll leave this slide up, and that's all I have. So if there's any questions, please let me know.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rebecca. You got some really good information there. It doesn't look like we have any questions at the moment. However, if anyone does have any questions down the road, at the conclusion of these presentations, I will have a slide with everyone's contact information on there, so feel free to reach out. But for right now, thank you, Rebecca. We'll go ahead and move on to the next speaker. So from the Preserve, we have Yvonne Massman. Yvonne has worked for the city for 33 years this May and has been a Scottsdale resident for 32 years. Yvonne has an animal family that consists of at least 30 mouths to feed, which include quite a variety of dogs, cats, chickens, cockatiels, bird aviary, turtles, tortoises, and any neighborhood cat or native bird that finds its way to her house. So from the Preserve, welcome Yvonne Massman.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us, Scottsdale fans here. So I have worked for the city for 33 years, as Ross said, and I'm going to just kind of go over a little bit of what the preserve has been. So I didn't initially start working in the preserve. I started as a recreation leader at El Dorado Park, and then slowly morphed into being involved in the outdoor programs, such as taking people on hiking trips, backpacking trips, overseeing all the outdoor activities. So it was a super fun career, and it continues to be so. My office is at Pinnacle Peak, where I am right now, so you might hear some chatter in the background. We've got tons of visitors coming in from out of town and families and stuff. So Susan's at the front desk, and she might be answering questions, which on the side note, you might learn a little bit more about Pinnacle Peak and not just the preserve. So when I started with the city, as I said, I started El Dorado, and then not long into my career, we were starting to talk about the preserve, and I became involved because Chet Andrews, as you'll see in a slide in a little bit, was trying a little grassroots movement to get the land preserved rather than developed into houses. And I was in my office, where it was the leisure education office, where they oversaw classes and stuff, and I hear, is there somebody in here named Yvonne that's kind of outdoorsy? And I was hooked. One of my first things that I did was during a heritage grant, I started taking the kids hiking in the preserve. Whoops, why isn't that slide coming up? There we go. I started taking the kids hiking the preserve, and the motive was that if we got the kids really excited about hiking in the preserve in this open space, then their parents would be really excited and they would vote for the tax. And you know what? It worked. We had 2 taxes passed. We had one in 1994 and we had another one in 2004. And we still have those taxes. They will be expiring in 2035. So we're looking at different things, different measures to keep sustainability for caring for the preserve. So this is a picture. If you have hiked in the preserve at all, this is a picture of Taliesin Overlook. And I was hiking Desert Canyon Elementary School since 1998. And actually Holly Hooley, who's an elementary school teacher there, her kid is in one of these. He's like in his 30s now. And then we had our 20th anniversary. And here you go. This is a reenactment of the photo with the kids. What am I doing wrong? Why won't it open?
Hey, Yvonne, if you go ahead and select slideshow in the
Oh yeah,
middle
that's
over
right.
here, you can go ahead and select go to the next ones. Yep.
Okay, where was that, Ross? Slideshow.
So it's going to be right at the top of it. Yeah, just go over to the right, insert design, transition, animations, and then you have slideshow.
Insert.
So it's up a little bit. And then to the right more.
There it is.
There you go. And then you can hit from current slide if you'd like.
Okay. So as you can tell, I'm an outdoor girl. I'm not very officey. So thank you, Ross, for helping me with that. So this is the reenactment of the school hike in 2018 when we did our 20-year anniversary. And as you can see right here, the parents made t-shirts for us. It was super fun. But just even looking in the background, just how different the landscape looks from the development throughout the years. So we're super, super lucky that we were able to save this parcel of land so that we have this for our future generations, which we're looking at right now. And these kids aren't 30 yet. They're only maybe like, let's see if it was 4, they're 10, they're 18, maybe. Anyway, what we did was we did a lot of grassroots stuff. So this slide over here on the right, that was me in 1992. And Scott Hamilton, who's our manager, he loves this picture because he's always like, bring back the bangs. And if anybody's ever grown bangs in their life, you know, growing them out is just awful. So this was taking people out that had like a special interest in maybe coming involved in the preserve and the preserve boundaries and such. So we would lead hikes, we would have meetings. We had a small little group, and it was called the McDowell-Sonoran Land Trust at that time, that we would meet and try and figure out ways to get this land saved. Once we did, we ended up with 30,000 acres, and we have a little over 30,000 acres. Our parcel of the preserve stretches all the way up to the Tonto National Forest and then all the way down to Shea Boulevard. It's all the way over to 146th Street. And then again, when you're a little further north, 136th Street. So we've got quite a little bit of land. If you look at the map right here, you'll see that our parcels are kind of divided up a little bit. Like this area is called the north area. This area we call the gooseneck, and it's part of the central. And then down here is all our entire south area. We have a wonderful migration pattern for our animal life. that live here. Like actually at Pinnacle Peak, we have a drinker and we get mule deer, badgers, raccoons, all kinds of different wildlife. With our boundaries and the way that the county park is right here, they have a very healthy migration pattern because they go from the preserve over into the county park, then there's a river, and then Rio Verde, and then they can go all the way up into the Tonto National Forest. So we do have a very healthy migration pattern. And actually this past last week, every year our staff, which this year is Madison, she is the person that oversees the South area, she was able to go out with Game and Fish and we do an animal survey. I did it a couple years ago. It was super fun. You're riding in a helicopter with the doors off and you're doing loop-de-doops and dip-de-de-doos and see everything from that vantage point. It's super fun. But we work really well with Game and Fish to try and make sure that we have a very healthy population that utilize the preserve as their home. And here are some examples of that healthy wildlife. Desert tortoises, we have a lot of plants, tuberoses, different things that butterflies that foster all kinds of the insect population. This is the hedgehog cactus, which is very good pollinator for bees and different ants and ants and flies and different insects. They just love these flowers. Our chuckwalla right here is very unique to our environment. It's a lizard that's actually herbivore, which is kind of unusual. Most reptiles are carnivores. This one is really kind of fun. If you look at that kind of the way that its skin's kind of all wrinkly and everything, it will go into the crack of a rock if it feels threatened, inflate itself so it's wedged in there, and then a predator or something that's trying to harm it can't get it out. Actually, I know how to inflate. I don't do very good at deflating, but they are an herbivore. This is a male. They have a lot of really nice color to them. We also have the burrowing owls, and actually, if you've ever been to Scottsdale Community College's campus, you'll see the burrowing owls there. But our 30,000 acres fosters a wonderful assortment of wildlife and plant life. As I mentioned before, Chet Andrews was one of our 4 founders in helping to create the preserve. And we would go out there and do all kinds of trail work. We would look at different ways we could utilize some of the roads that we had in the past, the old Jeep roads, to keep the trail integrity. Roy Kinsey, he was kind of on the opposite side of the preserve. He helped with the grassroots part of the preserve being developed from the Fountain Hill side. And actually one time I did a presentation, a first aid training for the Fountain Hills preserve people. And I kept looking at the mountain. I was like, wow, that's a really interesting viewpoint. And they said, yeah, we see it from the other side than you. So that was really neat to see it from the other side while I was over there doing their training. Next, I wanted to show you a new trail that we just had dedicated. Whoops. This is actually the Sunrise Trail that I just mentioned. This goes up and ties into the Roy Kinsey Trail. So Fountain Hills just opened a new trailhead called the Andero Trail that you can access off of Shea Boulevard and Palisades, which I really recommend. It's absolutely gorgeous. And you can come all the way up and over and tie into the Sunrise Trail. These are our trail crew right here. These are contractors that we use that help us sometimes. We find that we have projects that are just a little out of our spectrum of work, where we need machinery and somebody with a different eye that can really get out there with their crews and stabilize the trail. So these are 2 of the trail crew contractors heading up the Sunrise Trail to work on it. I started to jump ahead here. A new trail that we just dedicated on October 31st is the Camino Campana Trail, which is lovely. It's located in our north area over at the Fraysfield Trailhead. And just as a heads up, we do a lot to make sure we can have ADA access, strollers, walkers, all kinds of devices that people may not be able to walk just like you and I could, that they can access and get out into nature and learn a little bit. Down at our Lost Dog Trailhead, which is at 124th Street in Via de Ventura, we have the Kovac Trail. Up here at the Fraysfield Trail, we have the Camino Campana now. And then at Gateway Trailhead, which is located at Thompson Peak and Bell, we have the Bajada Loop. So if you have family that comes into town and maybe you want to get them out, but they don't have the same mobility as somebody that can get out and hike the trail, there are all these opportunities to get them out there into nature and learn some stuff. We've got wonderful panels of educational material at each of those trailheads. Even Pinnacle Peak, we we have a little bit of a, we have educational signs on the trail. And we put a bench at marker 2, so, which is 200 feet up the trail. So if you have family members that want to be out with you and they don't want to hike, they can go and sit there and just enjoy the environment while they're waiting for you to finish your hike. Here's another really fun panel at the Campana Trail. So look at back in here, we put these little cutouts that kind of give you the illusion of some of the animals that might be living out there. And it's kind of fun to see people going out and hiking because they're like walking and all of a sudden they catch it out of the corner of their eye, like, wait a minute, am I really seeing a jackrabbit? Am I really seeing a javelina? But actually it's just to give the illusion of what animals and what wildlife might be living in that area. We have a staff of 5. And it's 30,000 acres. So we rely on working with the McDowell-Sonoran Conservancy. They are their own entity. They're not city volunteers as in the libraries or Pinnacle Peak or some of the other areas. They are their own nonprofit, but they provide us with all kinds of manpower and women power to help with talking to people at the trailhead, the pathfinders, patrolling the trails. We have another group called CMM, that's construction and maintenance. And if we have problems that we need to go out and put a calendar together and do trail work, they're the ones that go out and help us. So we have a very nice partnership and work with them throughout the preserve, as well as not just relying on the people that are employed. So up here, this is John Lolette. He sees the Browns Ranch area up north, and this is Scott Hamilton. He became our manager. We have no idea what we're looking at, but we just always think this photo is so funny that we have to include it in everything because it makes us laugh. Staff over here and some of our volunteers. So we always seem to have a really nice time while we're at work. I wanted to provide you with a couple of books that if you want to pursue and learn a little bit more, and actually Joan Fudala, she's been our historian in Scottsdale for many, many years. She recently published The People's Preserve, just to kind of give you more information completely about the preserve. It has to do from the inception of starting the tax, the grassroots, and how it's moved throughout the years, all of the really monumental moments that made the preserve what it is. And then Historic Scottsdale. This is a really nice book if you just want to know about Scottsdale just in general. It covers a lot of the forefront people that really made an impact on Scottsdale, you know, like Mr. Messenger, who has Messenger Mortuary, the Los Olivos restaurant, you know, some of the historical things, Cavaliers Blacksmith Shop in Old Town. It's just a really nice one. And there's a little section in there about the preserve as well. This was written, I think, oh gosh, it was maybe late 90s. So the People's Preserve, if you're looking for the more up-to-date information, would be your best means to find out as much as you can about it. Another thing too, if you want to email me and you have questions about the preserve, if you want to get a map, you can always go online and look at our website, and we have maps there. We can send you a paper map too. And just so you know, when you go out in the trails, it is always good to make sure that you do have a paper map. Don't always rely on your phone or some of the apps, the mapping apps, because what if you didn't charge your phone that night? You might, and you get out somewhere and you're just not sure where you are. Pulling out that paper map is still the best thing to have just for your safety. We do have our trail really well marked. So there are emergency markers out there, and the signage is just impeccable. We've worked really hard to make sure that people are safe while they're out enjoying nature. So that's all I have. I talk really fast. I don't even think I covered 15 minutes, but that's okay. Maybe you have a whole bunch of questions for me.
That's perfect, Yvonne. Thank you so much. You guys do some really awesome work out there in the preserve. So it does look like we have one question from Sherry. Sherry asks, has there been any thought to putting cameras in various areas that might show animals and plants for people who may not be able to be out and about, but may enjoy looking at nature?
Well, we don't have those cameras out right now. We do have cameras that actually we use for our own research and that the Conservancy does. But if you want to send me your email, Sherry, at Pinnacle Peak Park, we have a wildlife drinker and we do have a game cam on it. And I have been working with Game and Fish, and eventually we're going to get Wi-Fi here at Pinnacle Peak, and we will be doing live stream. So you can log in just like Game and Fish. You know, they have the sandhill cranes down in Wilcox area. You'll be able to log in and see live streaming of our drinker in action. But if you want to, right now we have staff that sends out weekly photos, and they're super fun of just some of the critters that are coming here and enjoying the park behind the scenes.
Awesome. And Yvonne, I was going to ask you, I know you guys have a huge volunteer program over there. Who who would they go to contact if they are interested in volunteering?
So that's where the Conservancy comes into play. They are their own nonprofit. So if you go on to McDowell Sonoran Conservancy, you'll be able to look at all the information there and fill in an application. They do what's called I can't remember what it stands for, but they do bi-weekly trainings for new people that want to become involved. And then you kind of break out into, if you want to be a patroller, if you want to be a pathfinder at the trailhead, answering questions. If you want to do CNN, there's a variety of ways to get involved.
Awesome. So if they volunteer, they can do hikes and things like that?
Yeah, the Conservancy, they do lead guided hikes. They do a lot of outdoor education. They have nature guides. They have a lot of research staff that go out and do different research regarding the plants. We also have a huge network that is removing a lot of the invasive plants that are growing in the preserve, like buffalo grass and fountain grass.
Awesome. And, I had one more question too. Obviously there's vast amounts of different trails up in the preserve. What happens if someone gets injured when walking out on the preserve or one of the trails, and then who goes to help them in that situation?
So we do have over 250 miles of trails, and all of them are marked really well with emergency markers. Scottsdale is part of the Maricopa County Automatic Aid System. So if you're in Scottsdale, like Ross had said, and you call the non-emergency number or 911, chances are you're going to go straight to the city of Scottsdale Police Department. They're going to ask you this question: what is your emergency? Is it medical? Is it fire? Or is it police? When you say medical, you're going to then be transferred to a dispatcher in Phoenix. Those dispatchers in Phoenix oversee all of the dispatching of every fire department within the municipality. So you actually, because it's an automatic aid system, there might be a rescue where Peoria will respond, Tempe will respond. It's who can get there the fastest. That emergency marker that you're telling them you're by is the indicator, and they will pinpoint your exact location and figure out the fastest way to get to you, to rescue you.
Awesome. All right, Yvonne, thank you so much for all the information today. I think that's about it for questions, but thanks again. And we'll go ahead and introduce our next speaker for today. From libraries, we have Jennifer Wong Ortiz. Jennifer has been with the Scottsdale Public Library for 13 years, mostly with Youth Services Department, and is currently the outreach coordinator for the system. So welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you, Ross. I'm super excited to be here today to tell you a little bit about Scottsdale Libraries. Let me just get my screen shared so you guys can see what I'm seeing. So like Ross said, I've been with the Scottsdale Public Library for about 13 years. Currently, I'm the community engagement and outreach coordinator, but I am a librarian, and I was a youth services librarian for most of my time here. So I work primarily with the little ones, school-age kids, and teenagers. But now as an outreach coordinator, I am trying to get more out with the community and connecting with all of our residents out there. So I'm really happy to tell you about all the resources and services that are offered by Scottsdale Public Library. As a system, we welcome an average of about 1 million people through our front doors every single year, and we circulate over 2 million items annually, give or take. Obviously, with COVID and everything the last year or so, it's been a little bit below that, but on a normal year, that's what we can expect to see in our public library branches. We have 4 different branch locations that are available to those who are in Scottsdale, as well as Maricopa County. So our southernmost branch is Civic Center, which is off to your left. It's our main location. It's our largest location, and it's located in Old Town Scottsdale by City Hall. It's also our oldest location as well. It has undergone several types of expansions and is just our largest branch right now. Mustang Library and Arabian Library are our 2 more centrally located branches. Mustang is off of 90th and Shea by the Honor Health Shea Hospital, and Arabian Library is a little bit further north near McDowell Mountain Ranch Parkway and Thompson Peak Parkway by Horizon Park. And then our furthest north library branch is Appaloosa, and that's off of Scottsdale Road and Pinnacle Peak Road. So our library system are these 4 branches. There are several other valley libraries around that you might be close to. So depending on where you are in Scottsdale, for example, there's Phoenix Public Library with their Mesquite branch, just as near Cactus and Tatum. And there's also Fountain Hills Library in Fountain Hills, and that's a Maricopa County Library District. Just so that you're aware, these are the 4 branches. It gets a little bit confusing, but unfortunately we don't have like a county-wide system. If you're new to Arizona, I know some other states have like a reciprocal lending system throughout the county. We are unfortunately are Scottsdale, but we do, try to talk to some of the other Valley libraries too. So just a little piece of information of our branch locations. And for convenience sake, we actually also have 3 external book drops. So if you're out and about and you're shopping and you have a library book and you go, oh, I just passed, Mustang Library, I totally forgot to drop by to turn in this book. There are 3 conveniently located external book drops where you can return your book to one of those drops. We check it daily and we get your books back to the library system to check in and get off your account. Our libraries just fully opened, all 4 branches. Due to COVID, our hours were a little bit variable last year, but we are all fully open 7 days a week now. All of our hours in building are the same. So we are open Monday through Thursday from 10 to 7, Friday, Saturday, 10 to 5, and then Sunday, 1 to 5. So all of our branches open 7 days a week, staffed. So when I was asked to do this presentation, I was, told some secrets about the library, what we would want residents to know. Honestly, I could probably talk for about an hour if you really wanted me to about the library. And so talking about only 10 to 15 minutes, I had to really think about it and condense it and make it short. I'm not going to hit everything that the library offers because we have so many things we offer. Even during this presentation, I've been making notes going, oh, I forgot to mention that or think about this or this and this. But everything's on our website if you guys are ever in need, and I will give you guys that website in the next slide. But I'm trying to think of just the 5 reasons why you should check us out. Libraries, we're here, we're still open. And the very first thing I wanted to talk about was the free and convenient access that we have. So our library system, we offer free library cards to anyone who lives in Maricopa County, and it's both full-time as well as part-time residents. All you need to show is proof of residence, basically here within Scottsdale. And if you know somebody who doesn't live in Scottsdale and they live in one of the neighboring cities, Phoenix, Tempe, Mesa, Glendale, Gilbert, we do library cards for them as well, as long as they're in the county. We do library cards for any age. So if you have little ones or you know of little ones, the babies, we do library cards for babies all the way up to however old you may be. They're always free of charge. Another great thing about the libraries recently, last year, we went fine free. And this means there aren't any late charges, and the only fees you would ever incur from us are if your items were lost or damaged. How this works is that if you have a book that's been out for 3 days late and you forget to return it, or it happens a lot where you think you've returned everything, but one of those books slid underneath your car, and you go, oh no, I have to go and pay this fine. It used to be that every item was 20 cents or 50 cents, depending on the status of it, if it's new or not. And you would be charged that per day. What this is really great is, and I will admit as a librarian, I was probably the worst about bringing books back because I never think to actually bring my kids' books back while I'm here working. But if you're like a parent or a grandparent and you're checking books out for your kids or your grandkids, those books add up really, really quickly. Say you check out, 10 books each for each kid. You got 2 kids, 10 kids each, 20 cents a book per day. 1 day, that's $4. 2 days, that's $8. 3 days, that's $12. And then it gets to the point where you have a lot of fees on your account. We found that people were embarrassed to bring their items back. And it hindered the access. So we've actually done away with fines. As long as all the books come back in good condition, you're not charged for any fines. Now, like I said, if they're lost or damaged, there are some fees associated with the cost of the item. One of the biggest questions or the most common questions I get is how do you keep that people accountable? And so what happens is that if you have a book that's checked out for overdue for 10 days or more, there is a block put on your account, and those items do get switched into a lost status, which means you can't use your account until those items come back to us. As a library, our biggest goal is to get you to be able to come back and use the library and feel comfortable using the library. We want to remove those barriers. So that's why we went fine free. All of our resources and services are also always free. I know I keep saying free a lot, but we always get this question at least, once a week. Is this free? And the answer is always yes. You never have to pay for the books, CDs, or DVDs that you check out, the computer time that you use in the library, the Wi-Fi. We have study rooms available for use, programs as well. Everything is always free. If you're ever asked to pay for something, there's always a little bit of exceptions. Like I said, the lost damage items, or if you're holding a meeting, we do have meeting rooms. Those are some exceptions, but if you're ever asked to pay for a book that you didn't lose or damage, you should find a staff member and talk to us, because we don't want you guys paying for anything. As far as the convenient access goes, our locations all offer curbside or drive-through windows for hold pickups. This means if you are browsing on our website and you're looking for a book and say you're close to Civic Center, but this book is only available at Appaloosa Library, you can actually put in requests and have us pull the book from Appaloosa, send it down to Civic Center. You can even do it through curbside. Come by, once it's ready, you'll get an email. You can come by and pick it up at curbside and be on your way. So we try to be as convenient as possible. The drive-through windows are amazing at the branches. You can go in and do a lot of things through the drive-through windows if you need to. We offer online renewals and registration. So if you don't have your library card yet, you can go on our website. There's a few attachments you would need to upload, but you can fill out a form, and we try to process those within 24 hours. You get an email from us giving you your library card number, the PIN code you would use to start using your card right away, and then the card is actually mailed to you. Same with online renewals. You can renew your card once a year. We like to ask everyone to renew their card once a year, just so that we have all of our patron records updated. And then we also have something called an Ask a Librarian service. So if you're wondering, if you have a question, and it could be a research question too, we get a lot of questions about obituaries or services around the Valley, you can actually go on our website and fill a form. It's an Ask a Librarian form under services, where a staff member will be in touch in about 24 to 48 hours, hopefully with an answer. If not with an answer, at least a way to get you started to find the answer that you're looking for. The second thing I wanted to mention, I talked a little bit about our branches and how many items we circulate, but we also have a really big digital library as well. We offer several different platforms where you can download apps to get ebooks, you can listen to e-audiobooks, you can download music for free, you can also stream movies as well. Our digital library has grown. Actually, it exploded last year when everyone was kind of staying home, and there's a great variety and a great selection of books and audiobooks. One of the best kept secrets that not a lot of people know about and haven't utilized are our databases. So for kids, we offer a lot of homework help databases like Britannica Library, but for adults, we offer business databases such as the business databases that are really helpful. So if you are big into investments, we have Morningstar. If you are an entrepreneur and trying to figure out what businesses are around in the Valley or even throughout the country, we have a database called Reef USA where you can get business information. There's also other databases like Chilton Library if you are a car person or need help with some automotive needs. We have full access to consumer reports as well. So if you're looking at buying a new car, a new appliance, in the purchasing realm, you can actually sign on to consumer reports with your library card through our website and get access to it for free. And you can go through and compare and print stuff out. And it's an amazing resource. I know I've used it a whole lot when I need to buy big purchases. If you're more of looking, you're kind of interested in learning a new hobby or skill, we actually have something called Universal Class, and it offers online courses that are self-paced, taught by certified instructors for a ton of topics. I've gone on there a few times. So say you really want to start getting into photography. There are actually some online photography classes you could take, and it kind of helps you self-pace it, and you can go at your own pace. It's a really, really great resource. Another thing about the digital library I always like to point out to people is our large selection of newspapers and magazines. We just acquired a archive database called Newspaper Archive. So if you're interested in historical local Arizona newspapers, that's a great new resource. We have a database or a newspaper database called Press Reader, and it offers access to national and international newspapers. So if you are a part-time resident here and you want to keep track of what's going on maybe in our local hometown, we might actually have access to that they can get digitally. And then the two biggest services that we have that people really enjoy is free digital access to New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. You can get those for free. There's a little code you have to put in as well. You have to create an account and do a little code, but as long you can keep using that code forever if you want, and you get access to the full digital New York Times and Wall Street Journal. Oops, let me go forward. Some specialty programs that I wanted to mention. Our library offers a program called the Culture Pass program. It's in partnership with the Act One organization, and libraries in the Valley as well as throughout the country have similar programs. But what it is that you can check out free admission tickets to participating cultural institutions for free. So if you have a library card, you can get passes to places like the Desert Botanical Garden, Phoenix Art Museum, Cosanti. There's some, the Reed Park Zoo, I think, down in Tucson is also now on this program. And they've put this program, the Performance Pass program, on pause. But I know in the past, and hopefully, in the next year or so, we'll start getting performance passes as well, because every now and then they'll have a special performance where they give us performance tickets essentially for people to be able to check out. So that's a great way if you're new to the Valley, new to Scottsdale, or even if you aren't new to Scottsdale and you really want to go and check out some of these museums or cultural institutions, you can get free passes. The program is limited to one Culture Pass checkout at a time, but each of those checkouts do give you up to 2 free tickets, and they're valid for 7 days from time of checkout. They are first come, first serve. So unfortunately, you can't reserve it online, but you can always go on our website. If you go on our website, scottsdalelibrary.org, you search Culture Pass in the search bar, it will pull up everything that's currently available, and you can kind of see, what the passes are. Another great specialty program we have in the library is the Seed Library, and that's located at Mustang. If you are a gardener or a plant person, this might be a really great program for you to dabble in or get seeds to various vegetables and fruits that can grow here. It's sponsored by the Friends of the Scottsdale Public Library, and each card holder can check out to 3 seed packets a month, and seed availability is dependent on the seasonal growing conditions. But that's a great way if you love gardening, if you want to garden, if you want to try it out, that's a way to get some free seeds. The last program I wanted to mention was our summer reading program. We're in January right now, so summer's a little bit far away, but June and July, the library does a summer reading program. Typically, when you think about summer reading program, it's for little kids, but we actually have programs for all ages, including adults. And so it's basically a great way to get the community to be reading. As you read, you get points, and the more you read, the more points you get. And we offer prizes along the way too. So we've done anything from, for adults, tote bags, we've done stickers. We partner with the Maricopa County Library District, and they actually offer state park passes depending on which, how many points you get. And so it's just a great way to encourage reading for the whole family, or if you're already reading anyways, you're an avid reader, it's a great way to get some fun prizes along with while you're reading as well. The library also has a ton of events. Because of COVID, we've had to scale back and do a lot of in-person events, but we're hoping by the summer or the fall, we'll be able to start adding a lot more in-person programs. But in the past, we've done a variety of story times for the little ones. So if your grandparents or parents, anything from the little itty bitty babies, tiny tot time, to 2 and 3-year-olds, we offer a Little Libros program, which is a bilingual Spanish-English program for the little ones as well. We do STEAM programs for school-age kids, so a lot of fun and neat science experiments. And we also have a teen advisory board at every branch where the teens can come and help us with book selection, they help us plan programs, and they just contribute to some of the library projects. And it's a great way to get those teenagers involved. For adults, we currently offer a monthly film series, both at Mustang and Civic Center Library. There are computer classes that we offer, financial awareness programs, book club discussion groups, and a whole lot more. Like I said before, programs are limited, but we're hoping to add more as the year goes on. And some other big specialty library events that we've had are like the Ultimate Playdate, where we welcome families with kids ages 0 to 8, and it's a fun day of learning and playing out in the Civic Center Mall area. We've done things like the local author book sales, where we invite local authors to come and show off their books and talk to the community about what they've written and just kind of connect with the community that they're in. Last year, we had a library card holder celebration event. I wanted to mention, most of our events, you don't need a library card to attend. We rarely ask you to register with a library card. It's free for everybody. So you don't even have to be a library card holder. If you're just visiting, or if you have people who are coming and visiting from another city, another state, they can pop in and join our events for free without a library card. We did have something called the Library Cardholder Celebration event, where we really wanted to thank our library cardholders for being, and supporting the library. So we held this huge celebration at the Scottsdale Stadium, where we had a concert put on by Rock Lobster, the music group. And it was just a fun night of some singing, dancing. We had balloon artists out there, a cotton candy machine, and it was just a really great event. And we had a bunch of families, people of all ages coming in and enjoying that. So that was a lot of fun, and that was sponsored by the Friends of the Scottsdale Public Library. The last thing I wanted to mention, I'm going backwards. The last thing I want to mention is, once again, touching on our physical items. We do have a large variety of books, CDs, and DVDs. We have over 350,000 physical items for checkout. And like I said before, you can place a hold at any item that you can come and pick up inside the branches or through our drive-through and curbside. We do have a collection that's called the Most Wanted collection. I know sometimes there are books that have a long waiting list because they're just by really popular authors. But if you are interested, you can walk into our branches. We have a Most Wanted collection that are non-requestable and non-renewable. So we've set aside a few copies where you can come in and just grab whatever you see. If it's something that you want, you can grab it. The only caveat is that you can't renew it, because it's, we're trying to get these into as many people's hands as possible. If you're in need of reading recommendations, if you have no idea what you want to read, but you want to read something, we have these forms on our website called Bookmates, where you can fill out a form and you'll get personalized reading recommendations from our librarians and library assistants. And then we also have a Goodreads page, if you're familiar with the social media page Goodreads, where the library has one, and staff review books and put them into categories so that people can kind of go, if you're stuck in a rut, don't quite know what to read, we try to give some reading reviews and recommendations. If you really love buying books, Mustang and Civic Center currently have a small library shop where we resell donations that were given from the public. And if they're in great condition, they're usually sold at super, super low prices. And right now, only Mustang and Civic Center has these shops open, because the other two branches just reopened fully to the public. But we're working on getting all 4 branches up and going. So that's my really quick and dirty presentation. Like I said, I could probably talk for, if you really wanted to know more about the library, I could probably talk for another 30 to 45 minutes. But there are several ways to connect with us. You can give us a call at our call center, 480-312-READ or 7323. That's how you can get in contact if you have any questions. Our website, scottsdalelibrary.org. And we're also available on social media. There's through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Goodreads, Nextdoor, YouTube. We're there, and that's a really great way to kind of keep in touch with what we're doing and what's going on at the library.
Awesome, Jennifer. Thank you so much. It doesn't look like we have any questions, but I was sitting here as you were presenting, trying to come up with some, but you were so thorough, so it was tough to find some. But I do have a couple questions. I've always wondered, if I go and check out a book from Mustang Library and then take it back to Civic Center Library, how does that work? Is that still okay to do that?
Definitely. So we have what's called a floating collection. If you check out a book at Mustang and return at Civic Center, it'll probably live at Civic Center until somebody else checks it out. Okay. So it's it comes and goes. Every now and then we have to go through and like rebalance everything. For the most part, though, if you check it out, return it to our libraries, it'll stay there, and that's totally okay.
Okay, awesome. And I know you mentioned almost everything was free, but does a library charge for adult programs such as lecture or local interest?
No. So people who come in to, I should be a little bit careful with that. All of the library programs that the library puts on or that we host is always free. We never charge
Okay.
for any adult program. So computer classes, author talks, we don't charge for it. Now,
Okay.
every now and then we do rent out our spaces. So kind of like,
Okay.
I don't know if Parks and Rec will talk about it or not, but we have spaces that people can rent out. And if somebody comes in from an outside group and they're, doing some sort of program that has a fee associated with it, it's an outside presenter. So the library doesn't host it and we don't put it on our calendars or anything because we don't want to advertise it as a program that we're hosting.
Yeah.
But that might, we could try to like shoot those to that outside presenter, I should say. But if you're being asked to pay something for a library program, always give us a call because we want to make sure that you're not paying somebody at the library because we would never charge you for it.
Agreed. Well, we just had a question come in from Lisa. It doesn't necessarily pertain to the library completely, but you might be able to assist this a little bit, but they asked if there's anything cool, or Lisa asked if there's anything cool to reveal yet about the Civic Center's library outdoor space under redevelopment. I know that from at least our side that they're obviously still working on it. That's clear. And the projected completion date is December of 2022. Obviously, that's the projected date as of right now. I don't know if that'll change, but do you guys have anything on your end that you guys have found out?
So I do know that, so from the preliminary plans that were shown us, it seems like if you're familiar with the Civic Center Mall and where the library is, if you're in the children's room, and that children's room actually used to be the entrance of Civic Center Library, and it's undergone several renovations. But if you're looking out, you can look out into the mall area. From what I know, they're looking at putting kind of a almost like a children play area right by those windows. And I heard possible splash pad, possible fog machine, maybe like a reading nook for the kids, which would be awesome because it would totally tie into the library. We don't have the funding for it, so it might not happen. I always have to say that, but I know that there have been talks about trying to put an entrance from the children's area to that mall area as well, because a lot of times what happens, people come up from the back and they go, "Where's the entrance to the library?" You have to walk all the way to the beginning. So those are the few things I've heard. Nothing that I know is set in stone. I don't ever want to say, yes, there would be this and this and this, and all of a sudden somebody changes it up on high. But we're super excited. Yeah, we're super excited. I'm really hoping that they'll be able to do that. I know that the library right now is looking at putting together kind of a programming plan for 2023 to see what kind of programs we can start utilizing that outdoor space for.
Okay, that's awesome. No, thank you for that. I actually didn't even know it myself, so you enlightened me on that. Last question I have. So I know you mentioned your seed library. Which branch is that at? Did you say the Mustang Library?
Mustang Library, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so if people want to get a seed, they can just go head on over there. And
they can head on over there. Yeah, like I said, the availability of the seeds are a little bit different every month, and right now I think the seeds are kind of behind the counter somewhere, but definitely go in and they can have a list of what's available to check out. So it's pretty cool.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that concludes it for Jennifer. Thank you so much for that. You shared some really good information. So thank you for that. And then looks like now the last two speakers we have are from Parks and Recreation. We have Jessica Rapp, who has been with the City of Scottsdale and Community Services for over 22 years. She has worked at both Scottsdale Senior Centers, Vista del Camino, and is now the operations supervisor over El Dorado Park, leisure education, and then facility booking. And then we also have Kristen Clark from Parks and Recreation. Kristen has been with the City of Scottsdale Aquatics Department for 14 years. She has held every position and worked all 4 of the aquatic centers and is now the operations supervisor over aquatics. So welcome, Jessica and Kristen.
Hi, everybody. This is Jessica. Kristen's going to jump on in a few slides, but like Russ said, I'm Jessica Rapp. I oversee El Dorado leisure education programs and facility booking. And we have a lot to share about how you can find your fun with Scottsdale Parks and Recreation. So I'm going to start off here. In Parks and Rec, we have kind of 3 subcategories: recreation, parks and maintenance, and aquatics. So in leisure education, we offer a lot of different classes, over about 200 per session. Like Rebecca said in her human services talk, a lot of our classes are housed at the Scottsdale Senior Centers, but then also at a lot of our community centers, in the park and the preserve. We do art classes for adults fitness and health, youth sports, outdoor recreation, and specialty classes. Some of the newer ones that we've started offering in the last couple years, we have kayaking classes. We have 2 lakes in Parks and Recreation that can be utilized for boating. And so we're able to bring our kayaks out there, and that's the McKellips Lake down at Vista del Camino Park, and then also Chaparral Lake. You can have boats out there as well. So we've done a few kayaking classes for beginners. So those have been successful, and those are, we work with REI and they come out and help us do those classes. So it's been a really good collaboration with them. We also do yoga at the preserve. So if you're ever interested in taking an outdoor class and being in the beautiful surroundings, you can take a yoga class out there. We also just started some skateboarding classes for youth at our skate park down here at El Dorado, at McDowell at the Wedge Skate Park, and those have been really popular. We also do facility reservations, indoor and outdoor. You can reserve a park ramada at any of our parks. If you want to have a birthday party, baby shower, memorial service, those are just some things off the top of my head that I know that people utilize those for. Company picnics, things like that. We also do indoor reservations at the libraries, like a lot of HOA members, board members reserve our rooms for their meetings. And then at our community centers, we have indoor space available as well. So then with that, we also do a lot of adult sports leagues, kickball, softball, pickleball. Pickleball is all the rage these days. We have pickleball drop-in courts at Horizon and Cholla Parks. And then I know that they're starting some lessons and leagues, I believe at various locations. Some up at the Boys and Girls Club, they share space with us and let us use their indoor gym sometimes. So there's a lot of pickleball opportunities and all of that if you're interested. And then we've got tennis centers, the Indian School Park and Tennis Center and the Scottsdale Ranch Park Tennis Center, all things tennis. They have different leagues, very nice facilities. They just got courts redone, brand new tennis courts for all ages, kids through adults. And then, of course, we have our specialty park I'm sure you've heard of. It's our McCormick Stillman Railroad Park. And in 2019, it was awarded the ELGL NOPE Award for Best Park in the United States. They have a lot of attractions, a lot of special events, a carousel, train rides, a model railroad museum. They do special events like the holiday lights during the holiday season, and then also their newest event is the Spooktacular. So they decorate it, the train ride for all things Halloween or spooky things, and it's really been successful as well. So moving on to the next slide. So Scottsdale has dog parks. The most popular one, Chaparral Dog Park, is off Hayden and McDonald at Chaparral Park on the north end. But a lot of people don't know that there's also 2 smaller ones, Horizon Dog Park at the Horizon Park and Community Center, and then Vista del Camino Dog Park, and that's off of Pierce Street. It's kind of tucked away off Hayden and Pierce, but it's at the south end by McKellips Lake. And we just, Scottsdale Parks and Recreation has just become part of a statewide campaign that we're letting everybody know about the law to keep your dogs on a leash and clean up their waste. So we're a part of this campaign. We're going to get the word out. So if you guys want to help us, Leash Up Cleanup is the new campaign that we're a part of. And hopefully we can get everybody to do their part with that. So we have 3 different Scottsdale community centers. El Dorado Community Center, Mountain View Community Center, and Horizon Community Center. A lot of people don't know, but at El Dorado, we have a full court indoor gym available for open gym play on the weekdays and weekends. The hours are limited because we do share space with the Boys and Girls Club of Scottsdale, but our schedule is listed on our website, and it's usually weekday mornings from about 9 to 1, and then on the weekends. There is a $5 membership fee for the year to play at El Dorado, but it's just $5 membership. You get a pass, and then you check in every time you come in. Mountain View Park, they have a half court open gym, and it's available for open gym when there's no other programming going on, like the after school program. So usually in the mornings and on the weekends. And we're also going to make that able to reserve. So like if you want to have a birthday party or any other type of event there, you'll be able to reserve it in our facility booking office and use that for that. And then we have Horizon, and they don't have an indoor court, but they have one full court of outdoor basketball and then 2 half courts for outside. So there's a lot of basketball opportunities around, and there's a lot more outdoor basketball courts around the city too, in the different parks, the neighborhood parks and things like that. But I just wanted to highlight the indoor ones that are available because a lot of people don't know about those. So I'm going to turn this over now to Kristen Clark because she is our aquatics expert. So she's going to go ahead and tell you guys about all things aquatics here in Parks and Recreation.
Hi, everyone. This is Kristen. Like Jessica said, I've been with aquatics for 14 years, so I know the ins and outs of all of our aquatic centers. We have 3 aquatic centers that are open year round. So Cactus is our most central one off of Cactus and Scottsdale Road. El Dorado is our most southernmost aquatic center off Thomas and Miller Road. And then McDowell Mountain Ranch is where I'm stationed at. It's our farthest north over by Arabian Library off of Thompson Peak and McDowell Mountain Ranch Road. Our seasonal aquatic center, it's open during the summer, is Chaparral, and that's off of Hayden and Chaparral Road roughly. And that one, like we said, we offer some lessons there in the summer and sometimes lap swim and things like that. All of our pools are outdoors, but they are heated. Around this time of year, we do get a lot of people from like Canada, from the Midwest that are surprised to see an outdoor pool in the winter, but we keep our pools around 82 degrees for pretty much all year. Right now we're open for lap swimming, water aerobics, and then we're starting to do our swim lessons in March, and we're starting our lifeguard certification classes. I think that's on our next slide actually. So like I said, year-round drop-in lap swimming, it's $3 for the entire day if you want to use our pool and our gym. It's just an entrance fee. So El Dorado, Cactus, and MMR have fitness centers attached to them as well. So if you're a resident of Scottsdale, $3 a day will get you access to the pool and the gym all day long. We also have our swim lessons, learn to swim for ages 6 months and up. So if you're someone who wants to get into the pool and you're not sure how to swim, we do offer adult learn to swim classes. And if you're someone who knows how to swim but wants to refine your strokes, we have a stroke refinement class as well. We also have a variety of different types of water aerobics classes. So we've got the shallow water, deep water, ache-away therapy, and tone and tai chi classes. The shallow water and deep water are primarily at Cactus and McDowell Mountain Ranch, but El Dorado has those as well, and the ache-away and tone and tai chi classes. We also offer other fun specialty classes that are pretty popular. We have diving classes for ages 6 to 17 years old. And then we have log rolling clinics. So log rolling is one of those sports you probably never heard of, but it's very fun. We learned about it not too long ago, and it's definitely a unique one to practice your balance and your core strength. But we'll have those clinics in the summertime for you to join. And then we also have artistic swimming, formerly known as synchronized swimming. So if you just watched in the Summer Olympics and that's something your kids are interested in, we offer that as well. And then, like I said, we have lifeguard certification classes. So like everybody, we're definitely short on staff and we can always use lifeguards. So if you're someone that's maybe retired looking for something to do, maybe get back into lifeguarding, we'll definitely take you. Or if you've got a teen who's looking for a great job to start in, we're looking for them too. So always looking for people to join our crew. Switching over to skate parks, like Jessica said, there's the Wedge over down south off McDowell Road. And then there's one at our center as well, McDowell Mountain Ranch Skate Park, that's attached to the Aquatic Center. So both of them are fairly large facilities that offer different features for skaters to utilize and come enjoy.
Okay, I'm back. Here I am, Jessica, sorry. So now we have I just wanted to mention our Club SAR Fitness Center. So it's the city's gym, one of the gyms. Like Kristen said, there are the gyms at the Aquatic Center, but this is our main gym. Some of the programs that Club SAR offers is personal training, yoga classes, bar classes, spin, rowing, and kickboxing. You have a lot of different choices for membership. You can drop in for $4 for Scottsdale residents, $6 for non-residents. For a month, if you're only going to be here for a little bit, or you have a visitor coming to visit you in Scottsdale, they can join for $20 or $30 for non-resident. 3 months, $50 and $75. And then if you're a go-getter and you just want to have an annual pass, you can register for $99 for the year or $150 if you're a non-resident. So they have a lot of awesome programs. It's a full gym along with all of those classes. And then I also wanted to mention our community fishing program with Arizona Game and Fish, El Dorado Park, Pond, and Chaparral Lakes. So the Arizona Game and Fish stock our lakes where people can come and fish. Anybody under 10 can fish for free, but if you're over the age of 10, you have to have a fishing license per Arizona Game and Fish guidelines. We just started a fishing basics course at Chaparral through Leisure Education. We have an instructor that teaches kids how to fish, and they just had their first class on Saturday, and we got a grant through Bass Pro Shop to buy all of our fishing supplies. So we're really excited about that program, and we're hoping in the future to get our fishing derby back. We used to have that once a year at El Dorado, but that was pre-COVID and some funding with the Arizona Game and Fish. So we're hoping to get those funds back and get that program going so the community can come and fish for the day. We offer fishing poles and all the equipment you need. So hopefully in the future we'll get that back. But if you have a fishing pole and you just want to go fish, those are your places to go. So I know we had a question about the Civic Center Mall Park before with the library presentation. So I reached out to our maintenance folks through Parks and Rec, and he sent this over to me. So this is the master plan. I know it's kind of hard to see, but so that's basically what it's going to look like. The library is over here where Jennifer was talking about, and then the Scottsdale Center for Performing Arts, and then City Hall. So this is what they hope for it to look like when it's done in a couple years, or a year, I should say. And then this is kind of what the plan is for that. They're gonna, the new daily programs is the Children's Garden, the Grove picnic area, different park areas you can see down here. There's a lot of, there is going to be a spray pad, playground, more kid-friendly things. So lots of exciting things coming up for that. And then here's a picture of the progress so far, an aerial view. So you can kind of see it's in the works and it's getting done. So hopefully sooner than later, we'll be able to get back over there. And I think that's all I had. So if you guys have any questions, you can always find our classes at our website, which is recreation.scottsdaleaz.gov. And then Ross will provide my contact information, and you can feel free to reach out if you have any questions about Parks and Rec. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, Jessica. You guys shared some really good information. We do have a couple questions rolling in from Caroline. She's asking, where is Club SAR located?
Sure. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. So Club SAR is off of Camelback and Hayden. So it's kind of an extension of Indian School Park. It's on the north end, and it's right off of Camelback and Hayden.
Okay, awesome. And Chris, I had a question for you too with aquatics. How popular is log rolling in Scottsdale?
No, it's a newer trend, so not very, but we had kind of tried out a different format for the class. At first, we had offered 8 30-minute classes, but we just switched recently to a more clinic style, like a one day class for a couple hours, and that seemed to be better received. So we're hoping to grow the awareness more of it for people to give it a try.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you. And Jessica, one last question for you. I know you had mentioned you guys are just started a fishing class. Do you guys teach fly fishing, or does your instructor teach fly fishing?
No, I think this one's just to learn the basics fish, but
Okay.
I've only been with leisure education for 2 years, but I've heard that we have had fly fishing classes, but not at the ponds. It was actually a class instructed indoors, because I guess it's like an art to fly fish. So
Okay.
maybe we could bring that back someday. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, awesome. And then if someone does want to teach with leisure education, how would they get in contact with you guys, or how would that process kind of work?
Sure. So we have an instructor proposal form that we can send out, and they would just need to contact our office. We have an email address, leisureeducation@scottsdaleaz.gov, or they can call our main line at 480-312-7957.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you guys. I think that's all I have. Thank you to all of our speakers. You guys did great, shared some really good information. And thank you everyone for attending our second ever Love to Be a Local class. We hope you guys got some good information out of it. I have included all of the speakers' information on my last slide, which I'll pull up here in a second for you. Thanks again, everyone, and we look forward to seeing you at the next Neighborhood College class. Have a great day.